Have you ever imagined sailing across the sea, chasing a hidden treasure, but instead of gold, you find better English? You know, stories make learning easier, and today we'll dive into one together. Hey everyone, welcome back to Linglish. I'm Emily, and I'm so happy you're here again. You know, every time I sit down to record a story with you, I imagine us like friends, just sitting together, listening, repeating, and learning in the most natural way possible. Today, we're going to learn English through a story. Not a boring grammar lesson, not a vocabulary list, but a real adventure, one that makes you feel the language. Our story today is called Treasure Island. It's a classic, full of adventure, danger, friendship, and courage. And yes, we'll go slowly, clearly, and naturally, so you can understand every word and enjoy every moment. Ready? Okay, take a deep breath, relax, and let's begin our English adventure together. A long time ago, in a quiet little village by the sea, there was a small inn called the Admiral Benbow. A young boy named Jim Hawkins lived there with his parents. Life was simple and peaceful, until one day, everything changed. An old sailor came to stay at the inn. He was tall, strong, and looked rough. He had a deep scar across his face and a heavy voice. Every morning, he climbed the hill near the sea with his telescope, watching the ocean as if he was waiting for someone. He drank too much rum and sang old pirate songs that scared the other guests. His name was Billy Bones. He was mysterious, serious, and always nervous. One day, he told Jim, "Boy, if you ever see a sailor with one leg, you come and tell me right away." Then he gave Jim a silver coin. Jim didn't understand, but he could tell. Billy was hiding from someone dangerous. Let me ask you, have you ever met someone who looked brave but seemed scared inside? That was Billy Bones. One cold afternoon, a blind man came to the inn. His name was Pew, and his voice was quiet but frightening. He handed Billy a piece of paper, the black spot, a pirate's symbol of danger and death. Billy turned pale, clutched his chest, and collapsed. His heart simply gave out. When Billy died, Jim and his mother opened his chest. Inside, they found coins from many countries, and something far more valuable, a map. It was a treasure map, the map of Captain Flint's hidden gold. Can you imagine how Jim felt in that moment? Excited, scared, curious, all at once. Jim took the map to Dr. Livesey, a kind doctor, and Squire Trelawney, a rich landowner. The three of them decided to search for the treasure together. They hired a beautiful, strong ship, the Hispaniola. The captain was Captain Smollett, strict but fair. And among the crew was a friendly cook named Long John Silver, a man with one leg, a wooden crutch, and a parrot on his shoulder that always shouted, "Pieces of 8, pieces of 8." At first, everyone liked Silver. He smiled, told jokes, and helped everyone. He seemed perfect. But soon, Jim discovered the truth. One day, while hiding inside a barrel, he overheard Silver talking to the crew. They were planning a mutiny to take control of the ship and keep the treasure for themselves. Can you believe that? The friendly cook was a pirate all along. Jim stayed quiet, heart pounding, and later told Captain Smollett everything. Now the good men knew they were in danger. After many days of sailing, the Hispaniola finally reached Treasure Island. It was wild and green, with hills, trees, and secret caves. It looked peaceful, but Jim knew there were pirates everywhere. Jim joined a group going to the island, but after a while, he walked off alone into the forest. There, he met a strange man named Ben Gunn. Ben had been left on the island years ago by his pirate friends. He had lived alone for 3 years, eating berries, fish, and wild goats. He looked wild, but he was friendly and kind. Ben told Jim a secret. He had already found Captain Flint's treasure and hidden it safely, but he said, "I'll help you, if you promise to take me home after." Of course, Jim agreed. Meanwhile, the pirates took control of the ship. Silver led them fiercely. But Captain Smollett, Dr. Livesey, Squire Trelawney, and Jim moved into an old wooden house on the island to protect themselves. Soon, the fighting began. Guns, shouting, smoke, chaos. The pirates attacked again and again, but the loyal men were brave. They defended the house and didn't give up. And then Jim did something incredibly brave. He found a small, round boat, quietly rowed back to the Hispaniola, and fought a dangerous pirate. And won. He took control of the ship himself. When he returned, his friends were shocked, but proud. Together they kept fighting the pirates until the end. Finally, the pirates followed the treasure map, but when they dug into the ground, they found nothing. The treasure was gone. They had been tricked. They didn't know that Ben Gunn had already moved the treasure to a hidden cave. Some pirates gave up, some ran into the forest and were never seen again. Others were captured, and Long John Silver, clever as ever, escaped during the night with a small bag of gold. The rest of the crew sailed back to England, tired but alive and rich. Jim had found more than treasure, though. He had found courage, wisdom, and strength. He was no longer just a boy. He had grown up. And that's it for today's story. Wow, what a journey, right? I still get chills every time I tell this one. You know what I love about stories like Treasure Island? They show us that learning English isn't about perfection. It's about connection. When you listen, feel, and imagine, you're not just learning words, you're living them. So tell me, what part of this story did you enjoy most? Jim's bravery, Silver's tricks, or the treasure itself? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a like, subscribe so you don't miss our next adventure, and turn on the bell so you're the first to join. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'm really proud of you. You listened, you learned, and you stayed until the end. That's what progress looks like. I'm Emily, and this is Linglish. Keep listening, keep speaking, and keep believing in yourself. See you next time. And hey, before you go, just remember, every story we share together is one more step in your English journey. You're not just learning words, you're growing confidence, one sentence at a time. So, don't rush. Come back, listen again, and keep building your own adventure. I'll be right here when you do. Yellow Heart.